All right, so if I had to start completely from scratch today, there are 3 tools that I can confidently say would 10x my progress as a creator growing a personal brand on social media. Most creators, myself included in the beginning, post randomly, they burn out, waste time on the wrong things. And so in this video, I want to give you the predictable systems, resources, and tools that I've stacked up and started using over the last 2.5 years being a creator so that you can move forward with creating content and growing your brand with a whole lot more clarity and efficiency throughout your entire workflow. Now, the first thing is ideation. Having the right ideas, generating the scripts, and having a flywheel of just content to create in the first place is your groundwork and is your foundation of being a creator. And so when it comes to being as effective as possible, we of course want to make better content faster. And ironically, one of the biggest bottlenecks for creators is simply not knowing what to post, and that holding them back from consistency and quality and just in general putting content out there. It's not knowing what to post in the first place. So I want to take you guys behind the scenes on the high level, but not even that complex AI tool that I've been using for the past 6 to 8 months now here. That's completely upgraded my content, made the workflow a lot faster and more efficient, and basically acts as a second brain in my entire content flywheel, content ideation process. Now, the reason why it works this well, it might sound too good to be true, is because the model and the tool basically lets you train it on everything that it needs to know at a higher level. Whereas with ChatGPT, you can train it, you can have it save its memory, but the user interface of this tool makes it a whole lot better so that you can confidently know that it's trained on certain things. You can even separate where something's being trained in the different sections, which might sound really confusing, so I'll just show you guys right now. All right, so here it is. The tool is called Poppy AI. And like I was saying, the really unique part of this whole tool is this user interface where you have this board here and your capabilities and potential are really endless with what you can do here. It doesn't just end at content and short form and long form hooks. Of course, that's what I started using it with. That's what most people use it with. But the potential here is really limitless. It really depends on how much you want to delegate to Poppy, how much you want to use it for, how much you want to train it. And so as you can see with my example, I've trained it on everything about my brand, even my agency and my business with testimonials, running it through what my offer looks like, the different systems, complicated stuff like that. And now a quick Poppy 101 on how this works is, you've got the side of training it and giving it information about you, your tone, your language, the way you talk, your offer, all these important things that are tailored to you so that it's not generic, so it's not just producing random results, which is usually what we see from most common AI platforms. We train it on everything there. We then plug it into an AI chat where you actually have access to multiple different AI models. As we can see right here, we have access to Claude 4, 3.7, we have GPT-4, 4.1, Gemini 2.5, even Grok 4.0 mini. So we have like basically every AI model in here as well, which is pretty crazy. But we basically then train it on everything about us. So it creates something that actually aligns with us and our brand and what we want to talk about, what we're preaching. And then the last part of this is training it on creating the best result. And so I really took that to pretty extreme lengths right here where you can see like, I have a section right here for how to grow on YouTube, right? I have a section for how to write viral scripts, how to write YouTube video titles, how to grow on Instagram, how to write viral scripts for Instagram. So the how to grow is more for brainstorming plans for my own growth and ideas that it can give me, ideation on more of the long-term goal of growth. And then, sections in these groupings right here, which to get one of those, you just click G. But with the groupings, we're then training it on specifics of like how to write a script, what the structure is, so that AI isn't just going in and, aimlessly kind of just guessing, but we're training it on what professionals and really big people in the space, how they're explaining it, because Poppy then takes the transcript of these. You ask it what it knows about writing a viral script. You make sure that it lets you know everything that would be in this video that sounds good. Then you make sure it knows everything about your brand. Now you prompt it to just generate whatever result that you want. And so I have, long form, short form. I have a section for writing emails for my newsletter, YouTube thumbnails for notes for designers, VSLs, analytics expert. It even looks at the analytics and it knows what makes up good analytics. And then I plug in analytics in my video and it can actually tell me what to do better. So the potential, the capabilities here are really crazy. But that's an overview of Poppy AI. It's my personal pick. It's the best tool that I've used over the last 2.5 years creating content and using different tools to help ideate and script. And basically the whole goal with using an AI tool in general is to get rid of the blank page syndrome. And what I like the most about Poppy is that the sky's the limit, and at the same time you have full control over the voice and over the results that you're creating. Now the second system here is going to be all about organizing your chaos. As a content creator, you're fully aware that there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of videos that need to be filmed, that have been filmed and need to move to editing, filming, there's videos in editing that need to move to revisions. There's a lot to keep track of. So you need a place where your content planning lives. You need a second brain, just like with AI and ideation and scripting, but for organization. It can't all live up here. And that's exactly where the content operating system comes in. And so to again give you a demo of how all this works, it's really simple and really effective. Notion basically helps you store all your ideas, move every video along in the stage of the content creation process. Also, as you can see a little bit on this right-hand side, we have a navigation center where we can store B-roll, we can store music, we can have a competitor list, we can have a video database to track our competition. And so these are just extras, but the main gist of it is going to be this board view right here, where we can basically take any video. And so let's say we have video 1 here and it's just an idea, right? And so maybe we'll title this whatever the concept of the idea is, just in a quick little title format right there. And then maybe let's go in here and we want to get the script template, right? With the hook, the build up, the value, the CTA, the core structure of writing a short form script. Now, maybe we want to just go write out the hook for now. So we write out the hook, we save that there's a placeholder. Now, we sit down and we're scripting videos. We're at that block in our day to script videos. Now we're writing out the rest of this video. Let's say later in that day we're filming, right? So we're going to move this over to film. Boom, we just filmed, 4 videos, move them over to edit. Boom, they're being edited, move them over to post. And so I found this to be the most effective. If you're working with clients or if you have a lot of videos, you can add in a section right here for revisions. If you want to keep tabs on every video that's in revisions, you can also share this to an editor. If you have an editing team, if you're not doing it yourself, they can have access to this. They can move everything along. They can see what's put in revisions. You can put the notes in the comments right here. You can put Loom videos in the comments. And so this really just takes over everything. You can sleep at night knowing that all your content, your entire pipeline of videos is organized. You also have a section for, of course, short form right here, but long form down here as well. Same idea, just for YouTube, just for long form videos. And so I found this to be huge. I started using this when I first started posting a lot of talking head content. Before, I was probably posting 3 to 5 faceless videos per week. Didn't really have to stay up to date with anything. But as soon as I started posting talking head content, having tons of doors open and ideas and things that I wanted to film, I knew I had to start using this so I could stay organized, have some clarity, move things along to make sure, number 1, that the posts are actually being made, but then number 2, that I'm not forgetting any ideas. And so I have a lot more clarity in the whole process. Now, number 3 is going to be a broader basket of tools and resources to have. And what this consists of is having the right resources and having the right strategy going into social media in the first place. This is what's going to allow you to not just post and put out content aimlessly, but actually build backwards from a goal. And the reason why having the right resources as a creator is so big is because you can have the best ideas, but if you can't package your content the right way, it looks and it sounds basic, it's not going to stand out. And that's just the reality of it. I realized this back when I started creating content and I had basic sound effects, basic assets, basic strategy, not really working backwards from any big goal, but just kind of posting to post. And if I could go back to then and tell myself to have the right resources and have the right strategy to go at social media the right way, I'd be a whole lot further than I am right now. And so that's exactly why I created BuildByCreate. I wanted to give creators of all sizes, no matter where they're at in their journey, access to every resource that I wish I had that would have put me further ahead a whole lot faster back when I was just getting started. I wish I had all the right editing resources for myself and for my team, things like the content OS, things like templates, things like editing assets, like I was saying, and of course a better strategy too. I wish I knew what went into creating a content strategy that actually is long-term and builds an audience that I can monetize. And so instead of spending 2.5 years building all this yourself, stacking up these resources, getting the knowledge of content strategy, I decided to just build it for you guys. And so to give you guys a quick overview of what's included and what we basically have everything you needed to get started as a creator, have all the right assets, all the right resources to jumpstart your entire journey. This looks like having the right assets. Those are all right here. You have the cinematic creation pack to make your content look a whole lot better instantly, sound effects pack to make it sound professional, text effects and animations to make your text and captions the cleanest as possible. And these are going to be the one-stop shop solution to just making your content look, sound, and feel way better, way quicker. You have a bundle right here with all 3 of these packs included in one. But now the biggest option here that's going to jumpstart your progress a whole lot quicker is the Creator Accelerator Kit, which is a course and all access bundle to all the packs and a whole lot more resources. It's literally everything that I compiled as a creator, just all in one, everything I use on a day-to-day basis, everything I stacked up throughout my journey. And I'm basically just making all of this accessible. So this of course comes with all the packs. This comes with an 11 video course. This is the full roadmap covering building a brand, short form content strategy, monetization, systemizing your workflow, everything that I wish I knew when I first started. It's got the plug and play Notion content planner that we just talked about. It's got an Instagram KPI tracker, and it's also got over 300 viral hook starter on a sheet. It's literally everything you need to start out as a creator, have all the right resources, all the right strategy to just get going, make way better content, have a way better strategy, and really just jumpstart your entire journey. But that wraps up this video. I hope it was valuable. I hope you guys have more intel on using the right systems to progress as a creator, create better content, jumpstart your journey. And I'll leave links down below to access everything that I talked about in this video, including Poppy AI and BuildByCreate products. I'll drop those links down below. And and I'll also include coupon codes so you guys can get started with those at a lower price. But that wraps up this video. Hope it was valuable. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.